Mountainhead is out on HBO, featured debut of Jesse Armstrong, who is the creator of the Success television show Succession. This stars Steve Carell, Jason Schwartzman, Corey Michael Smith, and Rami Youssef. It was apparently created incredibly quickly. Armstrong started working on the script in November 2024, and basically 6 months later, the movie is already out. The film takes place over a weekend at a luxurious but tacky mountainside house belonging to a half billionaire whose three good friends, actual tech billionaires, come over to spend time, relax, play poker, have fun. It's just the four of them, nobody else in the house for the weekend, and this weekend is supposed to be a sort of getaway from the current business stuff. But as they keep getting news from the outside world about the growing chaos and unrest resulting from the new deepfake technology released publicly by one of the men, they begin scrambling to decide whether to do something about it, to cooperate between their companies, or perhaps use their influence to straight up take over the world. So it's a dark comedy, a satire on the tech billionaires of today, and judging by the reactions online, it is very divisive. Some people loved it, other people hated it. I'm in the former camp. I thought this was a solid movie, but my own girlfriend said it was a bit boring for her. I'd say part of the reception of the film is going to be your own political views, as well as how tired you already are with the state of the world today, because the movie doesn't really say anything completely brand new. It paints the tech CEOs as greedy, sociopathic, disconnected from the rest of society. In some ways, you could even say weird or insane, and above all, totally narcissistic and full of themselves, which I think is a fairly accurate, depiction based on what we know about these people in real life and what they themselves show us in real life. And it's not subtle at all. It's not subtle commentary. The satire in this film is very blunt, but I would argue that reality has outrun common sense so much that there is no room for subtlety left in this topic anymore. It simply wouldn't work. Some of the criticisms of the movie that I saw, which I want to examine, the film is boring and over-talked in the first half. Yes, there is a lot of talking, and a ton of it is this weird, fairly accurate business lingo, which might turn people off, and especially if you don't know some of these terms, and I didn't know all of them, it might be difficult to follow. But I'd say that it serves the movie well in terms of establishing who these people are and just how disconnected from the common man they are, with their buzzwords and the way they speak and the way they think and their fake masks and the stuff they talk about. Secondly, some people complained about the movie ending in an unsatisfying way and not having a just resolution. Well, yeah, that is kind of the point. People like that, can discuss all these terrible things, but when it comes to doing them with their own two hands, directly, they do turn out to be spineless cowards, and they don't go through with them. And then, so you get this sort of anticlimax, and then the things they do end up doing often have no negative consequences for them. The billionaires here are painted as people who are invincible and above the law, and honestly, the world today kind of is like that. I would like to also say a couple of words in terms of the writing and the performances. The amazing thing about the film for me was that the characters are all despicable, slimy cunts, but each of them is a despicable, slimy cunt in a slightly different way. So there is no sense of them blending together. Every one of them is distinct. And that is certainly helped by the performances as well. The two standouts for me being Steve Carell, who is amazingly cold. This reminded me of his role in Foxcatcher a little bit, and Corey Michael Smith is, I think, terrific as perhaps the most slimy and unlikable of them all, kind of a mix between Musk and Zuckerberg. I love the humor in this film. Some of the lines these people say and the way they say them are so wonderfully off the cuff, absurd, that I couldn't help but laugh. And with this too, I know that some people didn't appreciate the humor as much, but it worked very well for me. Final point, I note that the movie might seem redundant, to spend 100 minutes getting irritated by ultra-rich sociopaths when that's sort of exactly the social sentiment that we all have in our everyday lives right now. So why say exactly the same things in a movie that most of us already feel and speak about? Well, I'd argue that the function of art, one of the functions of art anyway, has always been to preserve and immortalize the worries and fears of society at the time it is created. Because yes, today it is obvious to us that we all hate these types of people. But 50 years from now, we might live in a very different world where someone might think, why there are no billionaires anymore? Why did we eat them all? Oh, that's why. Or perhaps we'll go back to this film and think, shit, we did have so much warning and nobody thought to stop them. Either way, I think Mountainhead is a solid film.